Everybody's talking about Spider-Man 2. It's going to be one of the biggest games to come out in the foreseeable future, but there is a huge game coming pretty much right behind it, and that is Wolverine. That's right, welcome to Video Game Leaks, everybody. Today, we are going to go over everything we know about Insomniac's other video game, and we have scoured the internet to compile everything that we know about it and everything we allegedly know, and that's what we cover here. Video Game Leaks. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have those notifications on as we barrel towards 50,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for all the love on the channel. And somebody asked me earlier, is this Chaos? Because I usually don't say my name when I intro on this. Yes, everybody. Hello. This is Chaos. This is Jimmy. Nice to see you guys. Okay, so Insomniac's Wolverine. It was a surprise announcement back in September of 2021, but since then, we've gotten very little news about the new Marvel action game. Will it be M-rated? Will it be on PC? When is it even coming out? Now, there aren't many official details out in the wild yet, but we do have some insider information about the game, despite the fact that Spider-Man 2 is Insomniac's main focus right now, and it should be. This game has made significant progress in development, and I think you guys are going to like what I have to say today, so sit back and let's jump into it. Now, back in April, it was rumored that Wolverine had officially entered the performance capture stage of development. Now, it all started with Insomniac lead animator Mike Yosh. He shared a picture of a motion capture stage, suggesting that some Insomniac project was being worked on there. Now, with Spider-Man 2 reportedly coming out next year, I think it's highly unlikely that they were just now starting performance capture. So given what I know about game development, these things usually don't take place less than a year before the game comes out. And since Spider-Man 2 is up before this game on the studio's release schedule, I don't think it's entering performance capture right now, especially considering the fact that the trailer is almost a year old. Now, granted, Wolvie's trailer is also about a year old now, but that was a very brief teaser, whereas the Spider-Man 2 trailer was much more elaborate. It was also announced in May that Walt Williams was just promoted to narrative director on this game. So in case you didn't know, Walt Williams is one of the main minds behind Spec Ops: The Line, which is a crazy game, an extremely emotional and effective military shooter that kind of bordered on psychological horror as well. This dude knows what he's doing. And the fact that he's working on Wolvie, that's really good news. It was also announced that Mary Kinney, one of the writers of Spider-Man Miles Morales, has also been promoted to senior writer on Wolverine, which is also great news. I mean, Insomniac's bringing their A game. They are, at least with the narrative of this game. But given the fact that both of these staff changes happened less than 2 months ago, on top of the fact that the performance capture probably just started, I think it's safe to say that the game is still in the heat of development, which is okay. With Spider-Man 2 likely nearing completion, I think it makes sense that Insomniac has been announcing various staff changes for Wolverine. Now they can start focusing on that project. We predicted the other day that Spider-Man 2 is going to drop in quarter 3 or 4 of 2023. That would put it around the 4th anniversary of the first game, while also giving God of War Ragnarok plenty of time to soak up and push all those PlayStation 5 sales. Wolverine is currently Insomniac's passion project, reportedly pitched to both Marvel and Sony after the success of 2018 Spider-Man, so they're going to be very selective about what they show us. Now, they've proven themselves with the Spidey games, but this is really their chance to break out, so they're likely going to take their time and make sure this is a very good game. Make it as good as it can be. It's not like Spider-Man 2 is going to sell poorly, so they're going to be covered for quite some time after that game drops. Think about it. For at least Sony, God of War Ragnarok, then Spider-Man 2, boom. So this game is likely still over a year away by the most optimistic estimates, and that's being very optimistic. Personally, I think we can expect to see Wolvie in the second half of 2024. Now, given the fact that it was announced on the same day as Spider-Man 2, but it, once again, not an elaborate announcement, just a quick teaser, it's likely not going to be that far behind in terms of release date. So I would guess 9 to 12 months. I'm expecting Spider-Man 2 to drop between September and November of 2023, so I think that means we can comfortably put Wolverine around the late summer to early fall of 2024. They don't want to cannibalize their own sales, just like they don't want to cannibalize God of War Ragnarok with Spider-Man 2. The same serves and holds for the next two. They don't want to wait too long either after an initial trailer. So it's also unclear just how big of a game this is going to be. That's the big question. I mean, the Spider-Man titles are massive. huge open worlds with tons of little details, but for all we know, Wolverine could be something smaller. It could be more on the rails. It could be more linear. Maybe it is. Maybe it'll be a Metroidvania game, or maybe it'll be a small open world game. We just don't know. But I will say, if I'm allowed to give my opinion, make it as massive and as open world as you did Spider-Man. Now, I know he can't exactly traverse as fast as Spider-Man, but come on, just make this a rich open world game. Now, I may be in the minority with that. I don't know. We'll see. Depending on what kind of game it is, it could zip through development much faster than the Spider-Man titles. That's kind of what I was getting at. So here's my prediction. Official Video Game Leaks prediction. You can come back and see if we got it right or if we got it wrong. Wolverine is dropping on the PS5 between May and October of 2024, roughly 9 to 12 months after Spider-Man 2. With performance capture underway allegedly a couple months ago and the writing team getting the new leadership we talked about, I think development is now ramping up with Spider-Man 2 nearing completion. So prediction-wise, I think we can likely expect another trailer at E3 2023. Yes, E3 is coming back next year. They've already confirmed that. And then maybe another quick teaser sprinkled in somewhere around the holiday season or somewhere at the beginning of Q1 of next year too, just so people don't forget that the game is coming. And then likely a ton of little Easter eggs will be within the map and story of Spider-Man 2. Don't think for a second that they are not going to throw some references, some Easter eggs, some callbacks, all kinds of stuff into Spider-Man 2 to get you ready. Insomniac's been hard at work recently, and I doubt they're going to let us down with either of their upcoming Marvel projects. I truly don't. Let's just hope that all these are coming to PC as well. That's probably a video for a different day. So I'm going to ask you guys, what do you want from this game? Do you want it to be massive open world like me? Do you want it to be linear and on the rails? Do you want it to be a smaller open world, which kind of makes sense since you can't traverse exactly like Spider-Man? I get it. Or are you looking for something different? I don't want it to be a turn-based game, which it's not going to be, but I don't want us to get hit out of left field with something that we're not expecting at all. I want a story-driven, I kind of want a more adult-themed game as well. I want it to be visceral. I want it to be a little darker than the Spider-Man games. I want it to, I mean, not a horror game or anything like that, but you guys know where I'm going with that. So, there you go. The phone is ringing. Things are busy. I'll see you guys soon.